YouTube, Earth Power here, bringing you guys a deck tech. Today we have Water Darkfire Ballom control, as suggested by some of the viewers. I do read you guys' comments, and I try to reply to you all. And this is one that got asked for, I think, by a few people. Just talking about Ballom and like putting it in here just as like a pseudo nuke for control decks, and I guess just being a pretty gigantic finisher. Even though the card itself really isn't that great, I do like the support that kind of surrounds it, and we do get to play Photo Side, which has just been a fan favorite as it is. So this is kind of what I've compiled. It's like a rough sketch of Ballom control right now. I don't think this will be the final product. I'm up in the air on whether I really like Pyrofighter or not. You know, we really don't have a meta to compete with, but, you know, if there was a lot of control, or a lot of, not control, but if there was a lot of aggro in the meta, Pyrofighter would probably be the choice over Bazagazil. But as such, I'm just kind of putting both in here right now, seeing how they do. For those of you who are counting, yes, there are 44 cards in this deck. I want to cut that down, I just don't know where those numbers are right now. With most of the other control decks, obviously, you just kind of cut the Demon Command engine, which is just these 8 cards here, and just put in better finishers like Bali, Velirika, and, you know, whatever other, I guess, big finisher you're running in conjunction with all those. But this is kind of where we're at right now. Miraculous Meltdown is another option, just because it kind of plays to that control, but I kind of wanted to focus more on the actual demon commands, just to give them more airtime, so to speak. Only because I think like putting Miraculous Meltdown in here, or like Bali, or just any other finisher, kind of just takes away from Ballom. All of a sudden you just start manaing the Balloms and playing the other finishers anyway, so what's really the point? We are running the Decaloise and Tanzanite package in conjunction with Kirill, just because it cycles that card really well. You just call Cyberlord and get back, or you call Kirill, or whatever, you know, card name you want back, and just get them all back to your hands, and then Decaloise helps you cycle them, as well as just annihilating everything else that's weak on the opponent's side of the board. So if you can, like obviously against like most aggro decks, like optimally you want to be playing Skeeto or Emerald on turn 2, insert random 3-drop, whether Hulkus or Phantom Flame, whichever one kind of comes to you, Pyro if you need to, and then you just kind of Volcano Charge into Decaloise, and I think aggro typically has a hard time coming back from that after turn 6, just because Decaloise just keeps wiping the board. And then you can just kind of play into it. Gaijiro Boot's really cool too, just as a final card to just kind of pick on with this deck profile. Just because I'm kind of rambling at this point, but Gaijiro Boot's fun. It focuses, like, it's basically the Bomidius of this version of Water Darkfire control. You know, being able to put shields in the graveyard just automatically is kind of useful. You can play it in conjunction with Pyrofighter, you know, to finish out games and kind of pick away at the opponent's shield. So, and that's the other reason I like Pyrofighter in here too, is that it just provides that extra little burst attacker towards the end. Since this deck doesn't really have a definite way of ending the game, so to speak, unless you just like set up a massive board and hope to avoid triggers at the end. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like I said, this is just mainly a rough draft right now. I don't really know where I'm at with it. Oh, Gato. Cat appearances. Gotta give him his airtime. And he's gone. Alright, so let me know what you think in the comments below. And, yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing this deck in a few matches in the future. Don't really know what we're going to pit it against yet. I think it'll probably do well versus like mid-rangey decks. I think other controls will kind of put it into the ground just because its finisher is a lot weaker than most of the other finishers. If the opponent's playing around it correctly. So, I don't really know. Maybe this deck is just really good. Who knows? Either way, we'll be playing it a lot in the future, so stay on the lookout for it, and hopefully, guys, we'll see you next time. Peach.